I want you to stop selling via email. And I know you've been told the money's in the list, build an email list. That's where you'll make all of your money. Build relationships, put out content, sell to your audience via email. And I want you to stop selling via email. And that's what we're going to talk about today. If we have not met yet, my name is Ryan Dowdy and I am a sales coach. I help brand new entrepreneurs build six-figure businesses by mastering their sales conversation and their mindset. And if you're watching this here on YouTube, I want you to go ahead and tap the bell and subscribe so you never miss a video. So I totally just dropped a bomb on you and you're maybe a little concerned and confused about it. What do I mean by stop selling via email? So if you are a brand new service-based entrepreneur and you sell a service and you're still selling via discovery call, what that looks like for you is you probably get on the phone with a client, you talk through whatever your discovery is, and then you either pitch right there on the phone or you put together a proposal with ideas and you email it over to the client. And then you get ghosted, and then you're chasing, and then you have no action steps, and then you don't know where you're going next, and it becomes this terrible thing. And then you tell me, Ryan, I've had 12 discovery calls and none of them have bought from me, and I don't know why. And the reason that you don't know why is because you're trying to sell via email. And it doesn't work at this point in your business. When I think of selling via email, for those big seven-figure entrepreneurs that are telling you to sell via email, they're selling products and services and discovery calls and products and different things like that via email. And it's a very powerful tool at some point in your business. But if you're still selling via that discovery call, if you're still getting on the phone with people or did Zoom call or in person and meeting with them one-to-one and going over the problem that you solve and whether or not you're a fit to work together, and then you're putting together a proposal or something along those lines, that I think cannot be done via email. The number one mistake that I mean is people putting together, or I see people making, is putting together these beautiful proposals that have taken you a lot of time and energy and then emailing them off and waiting for the potential client to get back to you. It is the easiest way to get ghosted and you have no leverage whatsoever, even if somebody does reply and say, I'm not interested, or I can't afford it, or I went with somebody else, right? I truly think that we should always talk through our proposal. And I think that this is such an important way to learn how to sell your services and to learn how to hear the objections that you get and how to overcome those objections so you can get better and better and better every time. What do I mean? So the way I teach the discovery call is that we never, ever, 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 ever get off of a discovery call without the next meeting scheduled. And that meeting might be a proposal meeting, right? Where we're going to go through a proposal together. Maybe it's a decision meeting, right? Maybe you did pitch right there on the phone and you're getting back on the phone to get them to make a decision. Or that meeting may be your first onboarding meeting or your first meeting as they are clients, right? As they become clients. And so however you onboard your clients, but you want to control the sales process. And when you just fire off emails into the ether without having any kind of planned follow-up step, you're going to get ghosted. And I know that sucks. And I know that it's probably experienced it. And there's nothing we can do about it in the past, but all we can do is look into the future. And in the future, you are a professional with an important offer to make to your potential clients. And you are going to walk them through the proposal. And some of you are going to tell me, well, Ryan, I've tried to schedule that meeting and the client just won't agree to it. And I'm here to tell you, if the client would agree to it, they already decided that the answer was no, and they just couldn't tell you that. So what does that look like? I'm going to give you some tangible examples. So maybe you're a virtual assistant, a bookkeeper, a digital marketer, where everything that you do is custom quote, right? Meaning you get on the phone with the client, you learn what their needs are, you learn what their problems are, and then you put together custom pricing for them. So what I recommend doing is saying, hey, potential client, thank you so much for your time, for sharing this information with me. I'm super excited. Here are our next steps. I'm going to take some time. I just need a day or two to put together some ideas for you and put together a proposal based on our conversation today. And then from there, what I'd love to do is find some time to talk. Today's Monday. Let's chat on Thursday. We can walk through this proposal together. It won't take us more than 15 or 20 minutes, but that's our next step. And sometimes they say, yes, great, let's schedule the meeting. Awesome. Now you have a proposal meeting scheduled. Some of them might tell you, well, no, just go ahead and email over the proposal. And I really encourage you to stand strong and take back your power here and let them know that, hey, I appreciate that you want me to just email this over, but I find that it's actually much more efficient time-wise for us to just jump on the phone for 20 minutes and talk through this. You're probably going to have some questions and there might be some point of clarification. So it'll actually just be more efficient if we do this via the phone. Are you good to go ahead and schedule on Thursday? And if again, they push back and they tell you, no, don't call me, I'll call you, I then encourage you to take back your power and say, hey, listen, potential client, I'm super excited about this opportunity and I want to be really respectful of your time and mine. And most instances, if it doesn't make sense for us to have a second conversation, it means that it's possible you've already made a decision as to whether or not we're a good fit to work together. So do you want to tell me a little bit more about that? And I know that probably feels direct and uncomfortable for you, but it breaks my heart the number of time I see people out there thinking that they've got all these proposals out there and there's all these opportunities, and they don't, because they haven't just really stood in their power and asked for an answer and really told somebody like, no, my time is valuable. And that's the deal, friend. Your time is valuable, right? You're running a business here and you've heard that time is money. And I would actually argue that time is more valuable than money because you can't get it back. So if you waste an hour building a proposal for someone who's never going to look at it or who isn't willing to have a conversation with you about it, that is an hour you won't get back that you could go have a conversation with a different client who is willing to do that. So I really suggest that we stop selling via email and we stop emailing out proposals and we schedule meetings, schedule follow-ups. You are a professional. You run a business. Run your sales process like a professional. And when somebody doesn't want to follow that with you, then maybe they're not a fit for you. And that's 100% okay. Some other things that I see wind up happening here is you will get a response to the email that says like, oh, well, hey, we decided to go with a cheaper provider. And you have no opportunity to ask questions and to understand why they made that choice. And while our job is not to turn no's into yeses, at least if you had gotten that feedback over the phone, you could ask questions and you could understand it, possibly overcome the objection, or not. If you're not able to overcome the objection, you can use that opportunity to learn more for the next opportunity and the next opportunity. And so that's why I always want us pitching in person, meaning over the phone, on Zoom, in person. I want us pitching our services so we can overcome objections, so we can answer questions, so we can understand the words and the language and the reaction that we get for our potential clients. Because every time that happens, we learn something. And every time we learn, we get better. And every time we get better, we get closer and closer and closer to getting that client and to hitting those revenue goals that we really want to meet. So I am of the belief that we need to stop selling via email and that we need to start pitching our services face to face with potential clients until we get to a point where you do have an email list of thousands of people and you're selling products, or you're introducing, you're inviting somebody to a webinar or a workshop, or you're selling a program. But right now, if you're selling a custom solution, you should not be selling it via email. You should be selling it face to face. If you are looking for more resources on how to do that, I do implore you to join us over in the Sales Skills for Women in Business Facebook community. I also have a fantastic free resource for you called the Uncensored Sales System, which is my proven 5-step system for getting clients, where I actually do walk you through the discovery call framework and everything that I just shared with you here today. And then, of course, if you're not following us over on Instagram, we are at Uncensored Sales, and we would love to see you over there. And we will see you in next week's video.